Welcome back, ASOS family. Unless this is your first time watching, then hell, welcome aboard to the ASOS family. God, I sound like a tool. But whatever. This is what you got to do, right? As far as YouTube videos, you want to be like one of those influencers or a YouTuber, you got to ask people to like, share, and comment, subscribe, right? So that's what we're doing. Because, this stuff isn't cheap. To get all this equipment and do all this editing and do all these things to provide this content to, you know what? I'm going to calm down. If you like our stuff, please feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe. Anything you can do to interact with the podcast so that we can keep this thing going. We want to do a lot more things with the ASOS brand as far as expansion beyond things like sports. You guys saw the This Is Vegas episode. We want to tackle a lot of things like that. Maybe even convince James and Ryan to do a separate soccer episode so I don't have to talk about soccer anymore. Anything to get this cracking. More money, more subscribers, more things to really get us going. But regardless, thank you guys for tuning in another week. And hopefully you enjoy our content, and we'll keep this thing going here for you. Now, I'd love for James and Ryan to also be here, but I can imagine what they'd be saying. James would be saying something along the lines of like Raiders, Raider, Al Davis, penis, Raider. And Ryan would, of course, be saying things along the lines of Steph Curry is trash, which is just a trash take. But, you got to respect my co-host. Huh? So, once again, thanks for tuning in another week. Hope it's a good episode. I think it was a good episode. But, enjoy the show.
Welcome back to All Sorts of Sports, episode 66.
Yes.
Yeah, there's only one person who this episode can be. It is Super Mario Lemieux, arguably the greatest hockey player of all time. So
better than Gretzky?
He is the great one, but still 66, 99 are two jerseys you cannot wear in the NHL. So
no, that's fair. The only one I could think of was Gabe Jackson.
You're not even allowed to wear them if you're a minor or if you're in college or if you're in high school. They're just, because you don't deserve to wear them. They're the greatest.
All right.
Flip mode is also the greatest. So they're in competition. We'll continue.
Ryan's also stuck in 1999 with a dial-up internet connection.
Yep.
So really?
Yeah.
He's going in and out.
But it is what it is. Well, Ryan.
Are you going to say welcome back to ASOS?
I did.
I don't remember you saying that. I just remember saying the thing.
I did.
Oh, can you say it again?
No.
Fine, I'll say it. Welcome back to ASOS, brought to you by creepyweddings.com.
Oh my God.
Want a creepy wedding with ghouls and shit? We got you covered. Start a lifetime of memories with us at creepyweddings.com. Thanks, guys.
A lifetime of memories because you're going to kill grandma.
It's going to be a very, very memorable time.
Uh-huh. All right. So looking at the comments from the last episode, one of the ones I wanted to highlight was someone asked if Ryan did music. So Ryan, plug your shit.
Yes, I do music. I was a musician before I was a lawyer, before I was a pastor. Honestly, if you want to check out some of my best shit, go on YouTube, look up Loner Scotty. I produced and recorded basically all the shit. Kid's really dope. Now that I'm a lawyer, I have time for sleeping and work, and then this, and then occasionally I mow the lawn. So less music these days, but there's some stuff coming down the pipe. So,
all right. Well, next week we're going to record an NBA episode, really, but let's touch on it now. The playoffs are coming. Was like 8 days away or something like that.
The playoffs are coming. The playoffs are coming.
You just can't do clever shit with your dial-up internet. So outside of that, the play-in
we see the disappointment.
Yeah, we can't even tell if the disappointment is like live or 2 minutes ago.
He's like,
hold on. Hold on. Hold on. It's frustrating because I had it fixed, and now it just doesn't want to be fixed anymore. I get you. No, y'all keep going. Y'all keep going. Do your thing.
Play-in, I think, starts with the 18th. No, something like that. The 18th or something.
The 18th will be 10 days from now. But I thought it might be 8 days away, like the 16th.
It might be. And then the actual playoffs itself starts on the 22nd. Whatever. It's semantics. It doesn't matter.
Well, no, it wouldn't start on a Sunday, but the 18th is a Tuesday. But we'll figure it out.
Yeah, the play-in tournament starts on the 18th.
Okay, so 10 days from now.
Yes.
Now
10 days from when we're recording, not 10 days from when this podcast will be out.
Mm-hmm. So let's touch on two things. First, the Lakers. With their loss last night, they're now in the 7th seed. How the mighty have fallen. It's funny because you remember LeBron was talking about how he loved the idea. What was it, last year?
Of course.
When they had the number 1 seed.
Yep.
And now that they're in 7th, whoever thought of this idea needs to be fired, according to LeBron.
Yeah, the only people that are complaining about the play-in tournament are people that are around that 7th seed.
Yep.
A la Luka Doncic.
Oh yeah,
fucking
no.
Cuban.
We're gonna get to them later.
Okay,
Trust
sorry.
me.
You know who's not complaining about it? The Wizards. They're stoked just to be in the conversation.
Russell Westbrook is tearing it up.
Yes, I mean there's no defense is not a term that's known in Washington.
There was 200 or 300 points scored before the end of the 4th.
That game had
ago.
17 players in double digits. 17 players in double digits, and Russell Westbrook 8 shots. It's an amazing thing, man. I mean, he's just doing everything about. But look, regardless, I love LeBron, Luka, Mark. All shut the fuck up, because look, the play-in tournament's the greatest thing to happen to basketball in years. This has made the last week of basketball, where everybody's basically turning it off and getting ready for the playoffs, exciting again.
Guess who likes it? The fans.
Right. It's been so freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're LeBron James, I get you being angry, buddy. I understand. But what you really need to be angry with is all them goddamn scrubs that are on your team. Because when you got hurt, you left them in pretty good position. When you came back, they fucking suck ass. And if you need to say anything angry about anybody, it'll probably be the rest of that goddamn Lakers team. Because goddamn, they're shit. Anthony's been fucking hurt pretty much the whole goddamn season, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean...
Second best player in the NBA. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing. You get the first and second best play. You get the first, second best players off the team in the NBA. I mean, they're gonna suffer. We know this.
Okay. You know this. Mm-hmm. All right. So the next team I wanted to highlight is the Nets. In my notes here, I was thinking about it, and after the Nets lost to the Mavs, if you listen to Kyrie's interview, he essentially was saying the same shit that the Clippers said last year. And in my mind, I was like, okay, so the Nets are Clippers 2.0. The Clippers were supposedly supposed to be the team to make it to the finals and all this other shit, but they didn't play because like people were hurt. People had other shit going on with COVID and everything. And then they're supposed to just turn it on in the playoffs. And it's kind of the same situation going on with the Nets.
So
KD is supposed to be their best defensive player in the starting lineup, and you're not going to win with that.
So here's the thing. They built the 3-headed monster of Kyrie, James Harden, and KD. We said they are going to play this much defense, and they're just going to outscore all their opponents. The problem is one of the three has been hurt basically the entire season, if not 2 or 3 of 3, I think at one point. Or at one point, it was just James Harden, I think. Was just
James Harden's hurt now.
Carrying the team. James Harden should be back by the playoffs, from what I've read.
Yeah.
A healthy KD, James Harden, and Kyrie with nobody in the court, just 3-on-5, probably they may give like a gentleman's game to like the Celtics or something, but they win the East. There's no reason why they shouldn't if they're all healthy. I don't care what defense they play. The Wizards don't play defense at all, and they're winning games in the East, and they are not a good team. Look, I get that they don't look good right now. The issue with the Clippers is the Clippers looked okay, and then they just fell apart. That's
They
not.
looked okay with none of the pieces that were supposed to be there.
Right. That's it. The Nets are going to be fine, assuming the big three is healthy. They're a big three. There might be a team that beats them, but it's not because their big three isn't playing well. So I think they're going to be fine. They'll probably win the East if they're healthy.
If we go back to the game from when they played the Mavs, they had Blake Griffin trying to check Luka, and that was just bad for Blake. It was a long night. Then they switched KD on the Luka, and KD had a horrible game because he was focusing on defense.
Okay, they're probably just working on stuff.
All right, the Nets are not beating the Sixers. I don't care if everybody's back. They're not beating the Sixers.
I think if everybody's back, they'll lose like 2 games.
No, they'll lose 4 of them.
Okay. I mean, that's if that's your interpretation, great. I just every other team has 1, maybe 2 very good players.
Hmm?
The Nets just have 1 more. Can't guard all of them.
We'll go into more detail next week when we do the NBA pod. But at the end of the day, right now, the Nets are who we basically said they were, which is going to be an offensive juggernaut. And how the hell do you stop them? Do you stop them from the?
They are who we thought they were.
But the saving grace for them is the fact that the NBA playoffs is a 7-game series. And at the end of the day, you've got to be on point to stop all 3 of those guys if they're healthy. 4 games, it's going to be a hard road for anybody to do, except for my preseason pick, which is the Sixers. I think Milwaukee's also a team that's going to be in the conversation. That's going to be about how much does Giannis take the next step, right? Does he take the next step in the playoffs? Beyond that, I mean, the East, for the most part, fairly easy to fucking trudge through. Like, if we're really doing a comparison game, right? Like, the Heat, the Wizards, all these teams that are on the bubble. Does anybody look? I'm not gonna dismiss the Knicks, but they are the Knicks, and I'm not gonna I don't.
Randall's playing well, man.
Randall's playing well, but I cannot, under any circumstances, see them in a 7-game series beating what it is that Brooklyn has. Period, and it's just what it comes down to. If you're talking about Brooklyn, you're talking about the Sixers, you're talking about Milwaukee. That's pretty much it as far as their road to the finals. And whether or not one of those teams is out, I think it's a possibility. Absolutely. I absolutely think the Sixers can. Milwaukee on the cusp. Yeah, but regardless, that team, unless they do something different defensively, are running into a buzzsaw wherever they go in the finals, depending on a long list of those teams in the West that I think they match up terribly against.
Mm-hmm. And I think the issue is, so like, if you look at this season, Milwaukee, Giannis is their best player. But like they go as Chris Middleton goes, who is, I think, their second best player. And same thing with the Sixers. Like, we know Joel Embiid's going to have a good game. If he doesn't, they're not going to do well. But it's also, who's the man behind him, right? Is it Ben Simmons? Ben Simmons has been playing okay. The issue with the Nets is there's so much talent in those 3 players. Like, it's not, who's the second best. We can see who their 3 best players are, right? So, look, honestly, the West is not as good as I thought it was going to be. And I guess that's probably because they're just playing the West. Like, remember when at the beginning of the season, it was like Lakers are going to repeat, right? And now they're 7th seed. So it's a little
hurt.
Right. But LeBron came back and then they were still not great. LeBron, I don't know if he's fully healthy, but look, can they run through the playoffs? Perhaps.
No.
But if they don't, they're just going to be like, well, we were hurt all season.
Hold on.
How old is LeBron? 36?
Ryan.
What?
Like, in regards to the Bucks, I understand you saying Giannis and Middleton, but you really forgot about Drew Holiday.
All right, Drew Holiday
is one of the elite point guard defenders. So putting him on Kyrie or James Harden, like,
is he better than Kyrie, James Harden, or KD?
In what, like, in offense? No. But defense, hell yeah.
As a basketball player.
No, but he can check them.
That's my point.
He can guard them. And then Milwaukee has a bunch of length. And then if you look at if you look at the Sixers, they have 2 people that are up for Defensive Player of the Year. And Ben Simmons can guard everybody. And Joel Embiid can take whoever gets in the paint.
They're not gonna go down there. I'm just saying.
And then you got like Matisse Thybulle, like defensively too. They have a bunch of defenders. So
they have like 1.5 scorers though, and the Nets are gonna put up 125 on them.
They got shooters now. Well, they have Seth Curry, who's a shooter.
Yo, Joel Embiid is taking like 7 threes a game. That's not.
No, he switched under Doc Rivers.
I'm just saying. I don't
Would
think
you say about the West being weak.
Yeah,
like, they're not.
That.
They're not as strong as I thought. Like, I thought the Lakers were going to cruise. I thought the Clippers were going to be much better. I thought the Mavs were going to be better.
So because you thought the Lakers were going to cruise, you thought the West was?
I thought it was going to be scarier for an Eastern Conference team to come in.
But if the Lakers are worse, that means that more teams are better.
I mean, who the top is what? Not Utah. Yeah, Utah. No, not Utah.
It's Utah.
Utah.
The Suns.
Suns are
Denver.
The Suns are the Suns are a lot like the Nets are. It's just they're putting up 140 points a game. Like they're just clicking offensively. I just think it's going to be the entirety of the finals is just going to be shooting.
Okay, we'll get into more of the basketball.
If you look at the points scored per game,
we need Ron on that.
Yeah. All right. So
like
I'll get Ron to get on that one.
280, 290 point games this season. That's absurd.
All right. So the final basketball topic we got is, I guess for me, really, I have been talking about this for years now, maybe like a year or two, in regards to my only issue with Luka.
His skin color.
No. He acknowledged it.
His skin color?
On his TNT interview. What was it? On not like stop with your bullshit.
Sorry.
All right. Now, my only problem with Luka is the fact that he complains all the fucking time. If he gets one more tech, he's suspended. And even when he doesn't get a technical foul and he complains, then he just doesn't get back on defense. And then they got an easy bucket. If he just played hard the whole fucking game, when he's on the court, it would make shit a lot easier for us. And he knows it. So I just wanted to say that. I wore my Dallas jersey to say it.
He acknowledged it. He says, I need to whine less or complain less or whatever he said. So here's a question.
Lucas, stop bitching.
How many games does he get if he picks up is it 16 technicals?
One game suspension, I believe.
And then do you get more suspensions or does it reset?
No, I think if you get like another 2, then it's another game or something like that.
How many games do they have left? 6?
Yeah. But you realize the playoff race that we're in right now? Like we're in the 5th spot. And then it's between us, the Lakers and Portland. And between like how those and it's like what? Fucking like a game and a half in between us 3.
Yeah, it's tight.
So I'm like, KP has been injured the past fucking month. He's come in and played a game and then he's missed a week.
Yeah, the unicorn.
We don't have Luka because this fucker keeps fucking getting technical fouls and bitching to the referees. It's stupid.
I'm just saying, if he's gonna get another tech, which he probably will, should he just get it first game, get suspended, and then go back and play for the last 4?
No, because if we fuck around with this and then he's what? We're in the 7th seed now. Now we're in the play-in game. No, fuck that.
It's an idea. It's not a good one. It was just an idea.
Luka, just get your shit together, Luka. Please. All right. That was my PSA to Luka. And he's not going to see it, but whatever.
I mean, he's going to say, I know I need to stop whining. And he's going to do the same thing.
And turn right back around complaining about the play-in tournament.
Yeah, he's 22 years old or whatever.
Mark his butt boy next to him.
Hey, man.
I mean, what do you expect, Mark?
Having support.
Have his back. He's got it.
Yeah. Like he did the same shit with Dirk too. And
Dirk never said anything that dumb.
And Chandler Parsons. for that matter, even though they didn't go as we planned.
It did not.
Do you know I did not know that Sham God was a coach for you guys?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Like I love seeing him on the sideline every game.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was watching something.
He's been there for a minute.
Yeah, I realized. Now I realize I didn't know.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go from some bullshit to more bullshit. There's supposedly a fight on June 6th. Supposedly. And
That's
we're
a hell
saying
of a
fight
segue.
loosely.
Going from bullshit to bullshit. All right.
Now, I don't even really want to acknowledge this, but Floyd Mayweather is fighting Logan Paul, even though if you look at all of the fucking coverage right now, he's like fighting Jake Paul in the media, and Jake Paul's taking his hat, running around like he's 5 years old. I got your hat.
That shit was funny though.
It's fucking annoying.
It's annoying because
and it's like you get the hat, then you run like a bitch, and then you stand, don't hit me.
He got clocked.
As he should have.
He hit, and his shirt was like ripped off. Look, like I said last week, he is living rent free in the minds of many.
And he's making a shit ton of money off of it.
Dude, as soon as I heard the news, I was like, that's dumb. And like 3 hours later, I got on Instagram and it's like every single post. It's genius.
Jake Paul is doing what Conor wanted to do.
I'm not watching the fight. Well, because if Conor had done that stuff, he'd have been in hot water with the UFC probably for some dumb reason. Like
in terms of the coverage, Katie. Yeah. Don't give me that look.
Look, I'm going to not watch this fight. I promise.
I mean, neither. I'm gonna watch it on Twitter like everybody else.
No, that's watching it.
Oh, well, I mean, shit. We gotta talk about it. I'm not.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Y'all buying the same bullshit.
Yeah, see,
both of you.
He doesn't care.
Okay, hold on. I sent you the list. You didn't say anything.
Huh?
I sent you the list.
I don't want to acknowledge it, and the fact that I'm gonna have to type up a card that says Mayweather on it and put it and edit it into this pod is more than I want to do to egg this dumb shit on, which it only runs off of everyone talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you talk about it, that's it. You're now part of it.
Yep.
It's your fault. Fuck.
It's not our fault.
Yes, it's your fault.
All right, so is it your fault because you're gonna keep this in the podcast?
Maybe I won't.
Well, if you see this, then that means Chaos' fault too. Then
no, it's not. Here's the thing, but I also realize that I'm not a soloist when it comes to this podcast, and people's feelings already get butthurt because somebody has a fan club. So the aspects of I get it. If there's something in the zeitgeist, usually you got to cover the shit. I understand it. But when this is so clearly a fucking cash grab that only exists because of trolling, it's literally the only reason it exists. Like, it shouldn't even be anything that anybody gets upset about. There shouldn't really be emotion involved in any of it. It's under no circumstances should this guy be fighting this guy. Nobody's going to take it seriously. If you pay money for it, you're a fucking idiot if you think they're really going to fight. Beyond that, what? Are we just lining their pockets?
So
what the fuck is going on?
Guess what? The real person whose fault this is KSI.
I don't even know who that is.
All right, let me tell you why.
I don't think I want to know.
Yeah, you probably heard some of his music, but he had a boxing match. It was like a YouTube boxing match versus this other UK YouTuber named Joe Weller. After he won, he called out the Logan brothers, and they weren't even thinking shit in regards to boxing. And then he ended up boxing them, and then now here we are. But the reason why I put this on the list is because I'm more interested in the undercard. Chad Sweetfeet Johnson is going to be on the undercard. He doesn't know his opponent yet, but reportedly Matt Barnes said he would fight him. And I'm like, fuck. Because I'm like, I'm rooting for Chad because I don't want him to end up like Nate Robinson with the booty in the air. but
Chad will never allow himself to do this in the sense of getting his ass kicked like Nate.
Mhm.
He ain't going to do that. There are no circumstances can he show up to the I Am Athlete studio and realize that I presented my asshole for the rest of the goddamn universe. It got my ass knocked out by X person. Chad's smarter than that. But Chad also knows, like everybody else, this viral bullshit. Look, this concept's not new. They've been doing celebrity boxing matches for how long?
Mhm.
Fucking exhibition bullshit things. But here's the thing. It used to be the washed up D-lister clanging on the like Dustin Diamond, rest in peace. I remember him doing one.
Didn't Jose Canseco do one?
Yeah, like way after everything, right?
Mhm.
It's come on, guys. What? So what? They took the celebrity boxing and they made it viral. Oh my god, it's on the internet now.
Well, shit. But Chad Johnson, I think he's been training with like the Mayweather camp for a minute.
Oh, great.
Even going back to his playing days. So
call it right now. Chad walks out and the other Paul brother walks out. Oh, you with Team Money? I'm with. Hey. It's gonna be dumb as shit. Anybody that watches it, you should lose your ability to procreate. Fuck you.
I'm gonna figure out a way to make sure that K-Dot watches that shit. All right.
Unless you are going to Clockwork Orange my ass, fuck you. You can't.
I'm gonna hack your TV or some shit.
I don't even watch TV.
Something.
Do you know what I've watched this week? For
What?
some reason, repeatedly, I've watched the movie Inside Man 4 times this week. It's the only thing I've consumed on television.
It's so good.
It's a good movie. I'm trying to literally figure out, is Willem Dafoe in a different movie? Why is he there? I'm trying to figure it out as I'm watching the movie. Because it's like, you deserve way bigger than this. You're not quite an asshole. You're just a cop. But it's so, he doesn't fit. But Jodie Foster is great in it.
Willem Dafoe is wildly underrated as an actor.
Well,
Why
guess
is
what?
he in that movie?
You know who else is wildly underrated?
Go on.
Aaron Rodgers.
That would have looked so much better if his camera didn't jitter.
All right. So I don't have much, but I know there's an update that we have to give or that we want to give in regards to Aaron Rodgers. Go ahead, K-Dot.
We don't have to give anything. It's just a matter of like the more that the story comes out, the more you've heard that like Adam Schefter is now saying the story that he heard on draft day was not because of any new information. He didn't have a source. It was just stuff that has been known over months. And he decided he was going to drop that bombshell that day, which was stupid as shit. Dan Patrick, you can see Dan Patrick wanted to choke Adam through the goddamn phone, which is like, why? Why would you do that here?
It just happened to be draft day.
It's like, hold on, but what?
He's like, so you had no sources?
It makes no sense. But I will tell everybody this. I think people need to look at this maybe in the guise that Aaron does not want to leave Green Bay. I think the more you're hearing about it, the more you're hearing in the sense of Aaron didn't want the story out. You hear the Packers don't want the story out. I said it last week. Nobody looks good in this. Everybody looks bad. The Packers organization looks bad. Aaron looks bad. Everybody looks bad. They look petty as shit. They look angry. They look mean. It just looks dumb. But I also know that Aaron Rodgers has had his agent go to Green Bay multiple times this offseason to try to get a contract extension. And I don't know if somebody's going rogue or what's happening in the sense of maybe trying to hold Green Bay's feet to the fire to get something done. I don't know. I just think that right now everybody's fucking this entire situation up.
Mm-hmm.
I've calmed down off my yelling about Aaron Rodgers bit. I still have my issues with him as a leader of a football team, but it's getting really, really messy. And the longer it goes along, the worse everybody's looking. And Aaron doesn't look good by not saying anything. And the Packers organization, I mean, I keep looking back at the double standard between what people are saying when it came to the Brett Favre situation, the way that ended, and what's happening right now with the Aaron Rodgers thing. Sometimes you just have an organization, if they draft the guy, it's time to move on. I mean, it almost happened to Tom Brady in New England. If it wasn't for Tom going to Robert Kraft saying, "Hey, no, I'm staying,"
That doesn't happen. Like Tom Brady gets shipped the fuck off. People, it's not like a new thing. Where did Joe Montana end his career?
Kansas City, right?
Because they drafted a guy named Steve Young.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Montana, at that time, greatest quarterback to ever play. And guess what? Replaced. So it could be the situation is that's what it is, starting last year when they got Jordan Love. It's just the way that everybody's going about this thing right now, it just makes everybody look so shitty. But I will say this thing that's been coming up on Twitter. I'll definitely take Aaron Rodgers on the Washington football team, without a question. I ain't going to lie about that. We could trade everything to get this man on the team. Because if he's there on that team with that defense and those weapons, we're better. I think that defense is better than that 2010 Green Bay defense.
But Green Bay's not going to ship him anywhere in the NFC.
I doubt that, but I think that everybody's going to pay a lot. If it comes down to that, anybody's going to be willing to pay a lot. Mm-hmm. I look at Denver and say they probably get more capital than anything else. But here's the major thing. He's not going anywhere unless he signs off.
Mm-hmm.
And if he says Washington's defense is the defense I want to play for, or the defense,
you saw the list.
Well, here's the thing. You can throw that list completely out the fucking window because we don't know who to trust when it comes to any of the news that came out of what happened. There were no news sources. There was no list. There was no any. We don't know. We really don't know. I think you look at that list and you say, oh, those are the things that make the most sense. He wanted to play for San Francisco. They skipped over him in the draft. Denver has a lot. It just made logical sense to draw those teams up, right? But if you're really looking at it, I mean, I even saw Stephen A. Smith say we were the pick. A lot of people are saying that if there's any team for him to pick, it's us. We got the salary cap space. Lots of it. Look, I love Ryan Fitzpatrick. I love Taylor Heineke, but there's no fooling anybody. He's an upgrade. Do I have problems with what he could possibly do to that locker room and the development of some guys? Yeah. But I also know, can I win a Super Bowl with him on the team next year? Yeah. So.
Rodgers to the Raiders.
I think in a couple weeks, Aaron Rodgers is going to be a big news bulletin where it says, I'm not fucking leaving.
I knew he was going to do that.
He caught me off guard. I didn't know.
Oh no, I knew he's going to do that.
Didn't know it was coming. Right. Good job, man.
They're going to pay his ass, and he's going to stay in Green Bay, and this will all go away.
All right. So
I don't think it'll be that simple. It just going away. There's some heads are going to have to roll.
Oh yeah, I mean, Shefty's going to put out another news bulletin without any sources, and it'll be great.
Did you see Mike Holmgren talk about it?
I did see Brett Favre talk about it, but I don't read it.
Brett Favre.
Yeah, I can't take him seriously.
I'm just saying, a lot of people are being selective when it comes to the history of what happened when they selected Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre was there.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are being really selective as far as that history. And Brendan, who's been on this podcast, is a Green Bay Packer part owner because he has that fucking sheet of paper that paid money for it. But I used to give him shit about this too. Was that when everything was happening with the Brett Favre deal at the end of that, and they were basically over Brett and they wanted Aaron. And I remember kept telling him, like, y'all disloyal bitches. Your organization was nothing since the Lombardi days, pretty much.
30 years.
You had this guy come from Atlanta throwing interceptions galore and becomes a legend for you, and you're ready to just throw him away? Fuck you.
It's all the cheese curdled their brains.
Then if there's any organization that doesn't deserve it the way they treated Brett, they get another Hall of Fame quarterback right afterwards. You pieces of shit. And now you think that this is just what it is? Quarterbacks grow on trees, and this is the way that we got to do it? I can't stand them, goddamn ass.
Watch Jordan Love be another 20-year Hall of Fame.
That would piss me off to no end. They don't deserve it. The Packers fans have risen the ranks as
they need their Jamarcus Russell
of the worst goddamn takes. I don't understand them as a fandom. I just don't get it.
Jordan Love's like 6'4", like 190 pounds. I don't think if he ate cheeseburgers for every meal 400 times a day, he could possibly end up anything like Jamarcus Russell.
Think about it. Think about our teams that we support. You're a Buffalo Bills fan. I'm a Washington football team fan. You're a Raider fan. They've had, other than injuries, 2 quarterbacks since 91. How many quarterbacks has your teams had? Huh? You remember Nathan Peterman? You remember fucking
for both teams.
Washington averages 3 quarterbacks a year.
Yeah, there's been like what 29 starting quarterbacks in the last like 20 years.
2 since 90 something, like 91, 92.
Yeah,
It's insane. They just
it's
don't get it. They don't understand. But that's the thing that people are going to start looking at, because there's a lot that you can start digging up what we've talked about before as far as the quarterback and the amount of contract, the amount of percentage of the salary that goes to them compared to other guys. There are 2 guys that are kind of in the same league to me. And I know that one gets disrespected because he doesn't put up the same monster numbers that he has. But Matt Ryan and Aaron Rodgers are not that far apart. Matt Ryan's a better fourth quarter comeback kid. I know that you hate him because of what he did at Virginia Tech. You stole your entire manhood. But
broke my heart.
Just broke. I'll never forget that night. God damn, that was good. Matty fucking I. But if you look at 2 teams, now Matt Ryan has had help on offense. Absolutely. Roddy White, Julio Jones, list goes
Calvin
on.
Ridley.
Calvin Ridley now.
Like a whole host of
Tony was kind of
running
he
back.
was still
but yeah, the biggest thing was running backs, like Michael Turner, and when they had a running back, the team really went.
Michael Burnett Turner.
But here's it. Atlanta's defense is always worse than Green Bay's. Almost always worse than Green Bay's. And Matt
They were
Ryan
historically bad last year.
27-3.
They like 28-3 was not Matt
28-3.
Ryan's fucking fault. It was the defense's fault. It's the defense's fault. I'm just looking at it overall.
What was the final score of that game?
What was it? When it was 31. No, it wasn't 31. It was they scored a touchdown at the end. It was 34-28. Right? I might be wrong.
It was 28-3, and then they didn't score any more points.
No, they didn't score. I know that their final score was 28, but I'm trying to.
The defense is bad, but
New England won in overtime.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out. It was his touchdown to wasn't it White? Was it James White that scored?
34-28 in OT.
Yeah, 34-28. It was the greatest game I've ever seen in my life. But look, Matt Ryan and Adam. If you really look at it, they're not that far apart, guys. They're not.
All right. Well, let's move on to the real, true definition of football.
All right, let's just talk about the NFL some more. So I got more stuff to talk about.
No. All right. So I just finished
Justin
watching
Fields
the Barca.
is going to be great.
I just finished watching the Barca Athletic game. It was a 0-0 draw. This puts Real Madrid in the driver's seat to win the league. They play, I think, Sevilla tomorrow. Hopefully
you're in the driver's seat just because of their remaining fixtures.
That and the fact that if they win, they'll be first now.
Oh, they have a game in hand.
Yeah, they play tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Tomorrow at 2:30. Yeah. So Sergi Busquets went off with a concussion pretty early on. Lamar for Atleti hurt his knee. Other than that, it was an interesting game. I'm glad Dembele came on towards the end. He provided a spark. Coleman should have fucking subbed off Pedri 5 minutes before he did, because you could tell his legs were dead.
You say subbed off?
Yeah.
Oh.
What'd you thought I said?
Sucked off.
Damn.
It's soccer. I'm kind of listening. I'm trying. I'm really trying. I'm really trying.
All right.
This is like Ben Stein teaching fucking calculus, and I've got ADD. Like, I'm trying.
All right. Yeah. So our season's probably over. We need center backs.
Yeah.
PK might as well retire at this point. Like to go out with some dignity, like while he's still capable of still playing, but I don't want to see him decline anymore. We don't really have a substitute for Busquets, which is annoying because when he has a bad game, like we just can't do shit really. And he had a concussion, and we brought in Moriba. I think that's how you say his last name.
You got it, Moriba.
I think it's like IX or Moriba. He was cool. He's still young as hell, but
I mean,
but yeah,
I think you guys need a lot.
Well,
because the scoring.
We need a fucking number 9, and we had one, but he started on the opposite team this time.
Yeah, it's the issue is both defense and also offense.
You want to know some of the biggest bullshit in regards to this? What was it? Barcelona's Twitter tweeted out a picture of Messi and Suarez before the game, and they're hugging, and they're like friends forever. I'm like, bitch, he could have been on our fucking team if you didn't let him go.
Yeah, that doesn't just because you go to a different team doesn't mean you're not friends.
Of course they are. But if you're the team that let him go and now he's fucking having a terrific fucking season for an opposition that's ahead of us in the table and you gifted him to them.
Bad management.
Like, don't tweet about it. Don't be like, oh yeah, friends forever. No, fuck you. You should be here.
Right, bad management. Bad management. Also, remember,
of course I'm happy for Suarez. I love him.
I just want to put this on record. Remember when I said Man City was the best team in the world? Still the best team in the world. Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Right,
what? They're going to beat Chelsea? Come on.
We'll see.
Chelsea's awful.
Well, let's just talk about it now then. The Champions League final is set. Chelsea versus Man City.
Best league in the world.
Shut up. There's a couple things in regards to that. So number one, the game is slated to be in Istanbul, Turkey, but that game might be moved to England.
Yeah, safety concerns, right?
Yeah. So the final was set on what? Wednesday. So we knew who the final was on Wednesday. Then on Friday, the UK put Turkey on the travel red list. So now anybody that goes there has to quarantine for 10 days, or anybody that comes back has to quarantine for 10 days.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the timing's always a little weird. When shit like that happens, it's like, oh, okay. Like, you want the game here, but UEFA's like, all right, if you want the game in the UK, you have to relax some rules. Number one, like, I think they can only have 10,000 people in an event. But UEFA's scheduled to have 25K. So they got to switch that up. What else? Turkey spent 20 million on renovating that stadium.
Those pennies though for UEFA or any of those clubs.
Yeah. So, but I'm saying Turkey has to be reimbursed if they move.
Yeah.
It.
How much?
20 million.
I'll put another 5 on top. Is that okay?
Yeah, they got all that money because they don't give it to the clubs.
Look, it's been a weird season. They had some home. They're supposed to have home and away for, the playing games. A lot of those were played at neutral sites because of travel restrictions. Like, this isn't new for this season, right? So look, I know nothing. I didn't look at it. I know nothing about what's going on in Turkey in terms of like the travel restrictions or why they're happening, but there's probably a good reason, right? None of the travel restrictions have been like super overbroad that I've seen.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just in terms of the timing.
Public safety, yeah, timing looked, but they also weren't the only country put on that list. So it's like if they had it in India,
and they probably don't give a shit about
if they had it in India right now, they'd be like, well, sorry. But we have a safety concern. So like, here's the money on that stadium. Enjoy it. We'll put a final there, in a couple years from now. So keep it up. But look, if they can't travel, they can't travel. Maybe they'll put it in like Spain or something.
I think they moved it from Turkey last year too, and then they ended up going to Portugal.
For the same reason. Right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I feel Turkey because everybody wants the final, in their stadiums for their fans, but sorry.
Yeah. And then it's the same shit in regards to the UK needs to fix all the rules they got for it. So
I mean, they'll come to some sort of agreement. There's too much money on the table. So
yeah, they got to. All right. Other news. Neymar signed his extension with PSG finally for 4 years. I am sad because that ends my dreams of having MSN back at Barcelona.
It's never gonna happen.
Kidding. MSN is Messi, Neymar, and Suarez. Or
and now they're gonna have
Microsoft thing.
they're gonna have M.
huh?
They're just it just said I'm unstable again. God damn it.
Yeah.
very unstable.
I can hear you. What do you say?
Oh, Barcelona instead of having MSN is just gonna have M.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so shitty. It's such a dumb.
Yeah, but no, it hurts.
You said
it hurts.
Istanbul once, and I've just been singing in my head Istanbul, Constantinople.
No, but
God.
Why did Constantinople get the works? That's nobody's business but the Turks. Hey!
All right. Other than that, K. Dot. No, never mind. Not you. Ryan.
Step up, step back. Nope, not you.
Did you see Eden Hazard after Real Madrid got knocked out of the Champions League?
oh yeah, when he was just laughing and smiling.
Yeah. Was he talking to Conte?
I think so.
And
he
then-
played there forever. So
Did you see the reaction from the Madrid media?
No.
Oh my God. It was so they had
tore him
this
apart?
yeah, they had this dark tone music as if somebody actually was murdered or some shit. And then he's like, this is unacceptable. And then Eden Hazard ended up having to put out a statement apologizing to the fans. I'm like, this is such bullshit.
I'm sorry that I hugged my friends that I played with for many years after losing.
To be honest, no person would like to see that right after you get knocked out of the Champions League, but at the same time,
with
it's Madrid,
COVID,
so fuck them.
He probably hasn't seen them in a year and a half.
It's
right?
Madrid, so fuck them. If they're hurt, I'm happy. Cool.
Go cry your salty tears.
All right. Final thing. Formula One tomorrow. Spanish Grand Prix. It's being the race is in Barcelona. Lewis Hamilton got his 100th pole.
Yep. Got the century. Congratulations.
What was it? So it's Lewis, Verstappen, and then Bottas.
Right. And then the gap, Leclerc.
It
wasn't.
Leclerc is at the back.
Yeah, it was not.
It's
close.
mid. He's the mid in the mid.
He's fourth, but it was
Leclerc is fourth?
Yeah, it was really close amongst the first three.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a full second.
Yeah.
And then Leclerc.
0.7?
Yeah. 0.7.
Yeah. So shit, to be honest, it's good for Ferrari to finally be somewhere close to the top three this year. They've been having a shocker of a season.
Verstappen, a flawless lap, and then he still loses. But it's down. I think it's just down to the car at this point, because it's 0.003 seconds.
It's down to the driver.
Yeah. No.
All right,
Lewis Hamilton's still the best driver in the world.
All right, that's what I'm saying.
But it's ridiculously close. It's gonna be fun as shit tomorrow.
Mercedes is a better team than Red Bull at the moment, and Lewis Hamilton's a better driver than Verstappen.
And they got all the money, which is because you think that Ferrari also have all the money in the world will put together a better team. It's still shocking to me. Anyway.
Well, what was it like? Ferrari was they had some illegal mods or some shit at some point.
It's like
and
steroids.
Once they changed it, then
I want all of that. Just
yeah,
bigger, faster, stronger. I don't care if they put a rocket on the back and you just fly to the finish. Just give it to me.
I think it was Jaguar that made a car that had a rocket engine.
I want that.
It was a one of one. No, they never produced it.
They do those to break land speed barriers, where they just put a rocket on the back of a car, put a crane at the wheel, and it's just hit the gas.
It was like an actual road car with a jet engine. It was sick.
I want that.
Jay Leno has one.
Doesn't he?
Is it a Jaguar?
I don't know if it's Jaguar, but he does have a rocket power car.
Oh.
I want
my new firm, the owner of the firm he also started a car company, and it's on Jay Leno's garage.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. All right. So
I want Leno's garage. In fact, I want to sleep there. I just want to be a mechanic.
I don't like Jay Leno.
I don't really mind Jay Leno, but that garage is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Ridiculous.
I just want to borrow one of those cars. All right.
I
So
just want to wash them. I don't care. Just I don't. Whatever my in is, just holler at me.
I like some alone time with an exhaust pipe.
Yeah.
turn that bitch on.
Yeah. It's disgusting, James.
And
You
also,
want to hear the exhaust?
it's right over his head. It's cool. All right.
I know.
He says I know, like he then gets it, but he doesn't get it.
I did get it.
Mm-hmm.
Wants to insert.
I know.
I've been singing Istanbul, not Constantinople. Then you said something about steroids about harder, and I'm just singing Daft Punk. I feel like I need Adderall.
Nah.
Okay,
K-Dot, you're perfect the way you are.
Oh,
Okay. So
no,
that's all I got. Final thoughts. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Yeah, okay.
So Arsenal was knocked out of the Europa Cup. We're already out of any chance of getting into Europe through the Prem. We're like in 9th place. This is the first time we won't be playing in Europe in over a quarter century. The downfall seems to have started around the time where Kroenke took the team over. Look, just blow it up. Get Kroenke out, Arteta out, get rid of the players that don't want to be there anymore, and start over. It's just embarrassing.
You can't get rid of Kroenke.
Huh? The fans can do whatever they want.
But he owns the whole shit.
Right. So, well, the thing is, this is still England, and their fans will simply not show up. They'll riot. And if Kroenke doesn't want to take a huge loss, he'll be smart and sell the club to somebody who gives a shit about the fans and the actual, like the players and the club and the hit, all that. It isn't just there to make a dollar.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was a group led by the guy who owns Spy, along
Thierry.
with Thierry Henry and Patrick Vieira and a bunch of other guys who are legends. We're trying to put together a conglomerate to buy it. I don't know how that's going, but
I said nah.
he's got to go, and Arteta's got to go. Nothing is working. So I have not seen a positive progression this season. I saw like blips of good and then just the same garbage and just game mismanagement by Arteta. I can't support that kind of shit. So blow it up. Let's see in Europe in a decade.
Isn't Saka on your team?
Yeah, completely mismanaged.
No, it said Saka.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, we have some really good young talent.
I would love Saka.
And we fucking put Willian in, who hasn't scored since like 1997. Anyway, just blow it up. Final thought done. Rant over.
Gata?
I'm getting a little teary-eyed. So this is my last episode of ASOS. I still am gonna come on the show, just won't be a regular member of the show. I've accepted a position with The Ringer. I'll be working as far as graphic design on a new pod by Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay. And I think the two guys that I'm doing the pod with right now think I'm joking, but I'm not. Really do appreciate being part of the ASOS crew. James, I'll teach you how to edit. And yeah, that's it. I got a reminder on my phone.
James?
Why is there silence? It's your
Yeah, I know. James, that's your final thoughts.
You could have told us this yesterday.
Yes. I think it's better to do things on the pod because I think reactions are good.
Oh, so you're not joking?
Yeah, it's one last favor to you guys before I go. I thought this be entertaining. I guess not. I made the wrong choice. Holy shit, I am joking.
Oh my god.
All right, did I sell it? Did I sell
Yeah,
it?
it was. I could tell that you were joking just because of the way you said it, and I know you would have called James
I'm sitting
to
here
like.
yawning, trying to put tears in my eyes.
You would have called James to clear it with him first, like make sure he wasn't brokenhearted. That was good. That was real good. I liked it.
Missing his final thought though. All right, soccer, Raiders, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I love the Raiders. Jamarcus Russell isn't as thought it was.
Well, the Death Star, it do go boom. You guys are not getting rid of me yet. No, I'm here. No star power in this guy.
Death Star just imploded. It's just not-
But no, if you didn't know, now you know, because I told you. Remembered it.
I'm not fucking leaving. Except for I'm fucking leaving.